Headlines read, Charlo lands a title shot against Abbas Barral after a 2-year layoff. If you don't know who Abbas Barral is, he beat Tellis last week by decision to become WBA interim champion. And since the WBA is vacant, Terrence Crawford relinquished it or he was stripped, whoever wins out of Barral and Charlo becomes WBA junior middleweight champion. How convenient. We have contenders like Virgil Ortiz, who, since he's become a professional fighter, has not had a title shot. That is 9 years. Charlo takes a vacation, mind you, a 2-year vacation, spent his Canelo money, jumps back in the game, gets a title shot, not even fighting a tune-up or nothing, just jumps right into a title shot against Barral. The last time we saw Charlo, he was running for his life against Canelo Alvarez. Now, he goes in there, he beats Barral, he's right back in the game. He's right back in the thick of things at 154 pounds. Now, he has not won the title yet, but if he does win, because I don't even know if Charlo can make 154 pounds, I got to see it for myself. But if he does win, they're already talking about him fighting a Keith Thurman or Errol Spence, who has been out the ring himself for over 2 years. But you know, Charlo wants to keep it PBC. He does not want that turkey smoke. So we'll see what happens. Now, Andre Ward's necessary heavyweight opponents to justify a fight with Anthony Joshua. Now, they're giving him the same business they gave Terrence Crawford. What are they talking about? They talk about Andre Ward's dream fight. Andre Ward says one guy that could get him out to bed and get him in the training camp. Now, up front, I would like to say is any clip I play, I don't own the rights to that content. It's for educational purposes only. Let's listen to Andre Ward's dream fight.
Doing what I'm doing in life right now, who would you fight? That's the problem. You know, it's a lot of names out there, but it's not a lot of names that make sense. You know, but it's one name that I've brought up before that when you say that name, I can see myself fighting him. Present day, today. If the business was right and if, you know, everything was right on that front, me and Anthony Joshua. That's a fight that I would take at Wembley Stadium. It's a dangerous fight for my legacy. It's a dangerous fight across the board. And but that's a fight that would get me in the gym and get me in the mindset that I need to be in to go to war.
Okay, now obviously we're negotiating with Nikisa and Jake Paul about the possibility of doing that fight, the Tyson Fury fight. Now Andre Ward's calling him out. And I'm like, for me, I don't think that fight is as big as some people think, mainly from Andre's team. Like, Andre's an amazing fighter, one of the best of the generation. But it was a while ago, you know? And obviously when we're looking at Jake Paul and we're looking at Tyson Fury and these kind of fights, I think with what Andre Ward might expect to make in that fight, I think they'd be quite disappointed with the commercials of that fight.
Really?
You know, Andre Ward's a very funny guy. You know, he says his legacy will be threatened fighting Anthony Joshua. How is it threatened? Because nobody expects you to win that fight. And then he tells us a fight that has to make sense. How does Anthony Joshua and Andre Ward make sense? Andre Ward retired 8 years ago. He's in his 40s. He's talking about this fight threatening his legacy. If you really want to challenge yourself, by the way, I think Anthony Joshua smokes him. But I mean, if you really want to challenge yourself and you want to move up to the heavyweight division, why not go for the whole enchilada? Go for the kingpin. Go for that bad man from the Ukraine, 2-time undisputed Alexander Usyk. But you still got unfinished business at 175. Just 2 bad boys at 175, that's a challenge. Dimitri Bivol and Better Biev. And the Mexican Monster just moved up to 175 too. So you got a lot of smoke at 175, Andre Ward. But you don't want that. We know what you want. You want the bag. First, you wanted to fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul wasn't interested. And what does Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua have in common? They put butts in seats. There are cash cows of boxing. And that's more evident that Andre Ward is just looking for a big paycheck. And like Eddie Hearn said, this fight is not going to be as big as Andre Ward and his people think it's going to be. There's Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, which that can be 2 fights. Big money for Anthony Joshua. And also Jake Paul. If he really wants to go that route for Andre Ward, you might as well fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a much bigger fight than Andre Ward. So Anthony Joshua has options. Andre Ward, if you really want to challenge yourself, there are monsters at 175. There's Dimitri Bivol, there's Beterbiev, there's also the Mexican monster there. If you really want to challenge yourself, but we know that's not what it's about. It's about money.
You feel me? So you gotta be, can Canelo or can Crawford win a close decision? I don't think so. I don't know. Canelo is Canelo. You feel me? So now that could be a situational issue. If Crawford win 8-4, they say it's a draw, or they give it to Canelo, you know? So in the back of my mind, that's what's looming. I think if Crawford is going to guarantee victory, he got to stop him.
A man who ain't...
You heard Antonio Tarver says it's no way that he believes Terence Crawford can win a decision. He has to stop Canelo. Both sides believe their guy cannot win a decision. You look at the Crawford side, they don't believe he can win a decision because Canelo's a cash cow of boxing. You look at the Canelo side, and they think because Turkey's favorite fighter is Terence Crawford, there's no way Canelo can win a decision if it's close. Then we look at the PED allegations. People are accusing Terence Crawford of being on PEDs when he's never tested positive for a test. Then you see Boots Ennis in Canelo's camp, and people are saying that Boots Ennis broke the code. But you look at Canelo's training camps, how many black fighters does he have in his training camps? You know what I'm saying? Why did they bring up the code when Jerron Boots Ennis got there? I mean, I don't know where y'all been, but Canelo always spar with black fighters in training camps. Always. And all of a sudden, they want to bring the code up when Boots Ennis gets there. So to me, I think both sides are swinging these narratives why the fighter cannot win or why they'll be cheated. Now let's get to what Antonio Tarver's talking about. He says he does not believe that Bud can get a decision. Even if he wins 8-4, he believes Bud Crawford will get a draw. Now, there is some truth behind that. Usually, when you're the cash cow, you get favorable cards. And not just a cash cow, a champion. Now, if Buster Douglas did not knock out Mike Tyson, do you think Buster Douglas would have got a decision over Mike Tyson? I mean, we're talking about Iron Mike, undisputed champion, box office when it came to pay-per-views, right? And clearly, Buster Douglas was winning this fight. I don't believe he would have got a decision if it went to the cards. I think it would have made it a draw and make them do it over again. And that goes throughout history. Oscar De La Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. Some people believe that Ken Norton beat Ali 3 times, but he didn't get the decision. He got 1 decision. Ali got the other 2. And you could put Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on the list as well. You had to do a little extra to beat these guys because they were box office. So Antonio Tarver is pulling for Bud. He thinks Bud's going to win the fight. So to me, that's telling me he thinks Bud is going to knock out Canelo or stop him. And I always said, people tell me about Triple G. Sergey Kovalev couldn't knock him out, and this guy couldn't knock him out. He's made of metal. He's a Marvel comic. I don't believe any of that. I believe any man can be knocked out if they're hitting the right place. Canelo bleeds just like us. Now, if we're going by paper, it shouldn't be a contest, right? Canelo's younger, he's bigger. Some people think he's stronger, and he has the punching power. And he has the chin, right? So by the paper, it's highly unlikely that Crawford can knock out Canelo. What is good about this situation is we'll find out September 13th. But anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Be easy. I'm gone.